everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Two wide receivers will be looking to be #1 targets on the field in today's game. It's the Steelers going up against the Browns. It's set to be a cold one on the shores of Lake Erie as we send you up to First Energy Stadium. Our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
A forecast calling for more of the same of what we're seeing right now, a steady coat of fresh snow here at First Energy Stadium in downtown Cleveland. Today, it's an AFC North matchup between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cleveland Browns. Hello, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. As we get set here, Charles, we talk about wide receivers. You know, Larry mentioned it in the open, but that's a big spot to look at here in this one.
I think he identified it perfectly because these guys have such an impact on the game nowadays because they throw the ball more than ever. And whether they're throwing it short, medium, or long, can they snatch it out of the air and create even extra yardage with run after catch?
Set for football now on a gray and snowy November afternoon. And off we go from Cleveland. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So Cody Kessler and the Cleveland Browns making their way out onto the field. And Cody Kessler in that loss to the Ravens last week, Charles, just 91 yards. He did throw a touchdown pass, but he was actually replaced in the second half by Josh McCown when they were looking for a spark.
And I don't believe that Hugh Jackson replaced him strictly because he thought he was playing poorly. I think he was just looking for, as he said, a spark to try and get his team a victory. Remember, when you haven't won a game all year long, the head coach still has to prove to his team that he's invested as well, and sometimes that's what's behind moves like that.
Interesting, Kevin Hogan also saw time. First time that we've seen three quarterbacks play on the same team in the league since 2011. Lawrence Timmons, the linebacker, there to get him down. The starters for the Cleveland Browns, and let's discuss the tight end, Gary Barnidge. Sometimes he can get overlooked.
I love how he emerged in 2015. We had a scouting report on him that said he was a good blocker, a dependable receiver, but no stardom at all. Had a 1,000-yard season in 2015. No longer do we have those shackles on him at all. Gary Barnidge can play.
This is complete to Hawkins. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it third down. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
Stephon Tuitt's ability to play defensive end and yet rise up and knock passes away when quarterbacks try to throw them, he makes it hard to get around.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is third down and 6. On third down, Kessler. Caught, left side, it's Barnidge. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to make it fourth down. So on fourth down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. With it is Brown. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, first and 10. So getting set to go on offense, Big Ben Roethlisberger, and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Week 10, albeit in a loss. Over 400 yards for Ben Roethlisberger, Charles. 3 touchdowns and no interceptions.
You kind of run out of superlatives when you're talking about Ben Roethlisberger, don't you? I mean, they put up 30 points in the game. Usually that's enough to win. So when you have Big Ben back there controlling things, able to go through his progressions, find receivers, spread the ball around, in addition to a little bit of wizardry, huh? How about the fake spike?
Yeah.
And then throwing the touchdown pass to Antonio Brown. Beautiful play.
Against the Cowboys, Bell 57 on the ground, 77 through the air, and a touchdown in each department.
His versatility is so good and so strong. It's a lesson for running backs everywhere. Yeah, of course you want to carry the ball. That's your #1 thing. But the ability to split out, catch passes, hurt a defense that way allows you to pile up numbers that help your team.
On second down, it's Bell. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. The gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I go all the way back to college with Le'Veon Bell. One of the better body transformations I've seen, from a big, thick power back to the guy we see now who can do everything.
And 2 years ago, of course, last year the injury, but 2 years ago over 1,300 yards. I think they think he can top that this year.
I don't think there's any question about it.
They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. He sets to fire deep, and it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down. Time for the offensive starters now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and a guy to watch out wide, Sammy Coates.
A slow start in his rookie season, only caught one pass in 2015. They're expecting much bigger things from him, trying to help out that offense. If he can get open, you know his quarterback will find him.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down. And now the starting defense for the Browns.
You have to love Jamie Collins. You can use him just about anywhere on the defense. Inside linebacker, outside linebacker, defensive end. He might even play a little bit of safety if you give him the chance.
Looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he might have got this across midfield, not by much. They'll mark it down at the 49. 3 yards won't be enough here, as that'll bring up fourth down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They have more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
There goes Green. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Ladarius Green, 49 yards. And the Steelers have taken a first-quarter lead. Big fourth down conversion for the score, and the defense, that is a tough pill to swallow.
Big time for them. How about them just deciding to go for it on fourth down? And, okay, forget the field goal, because that looked like an easy 3 points. Yeah, you might have had a defensive breakdown in there, but they've pressed the issue and found a way to get it into the end zone. Give them big credit for that.
Well, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Back onto the field now come the Cleveland Browns, who have started this season 0-10. First time that's happened in their history since they started back in 1950.
And speaking of history, aren't they in danger of going below 500 as a franchise?
Yeah, for the first time ever, they've had 461 wins and 461 losses.
It's absolutely unbelievable because, remember, Paul Brown started this franchise. The All-American Football Conference, ran roughshod there, went into the NFL. They thought they couldn't compete with the big boys, won an NFL title their first year, and plenty more after that. Blanton Collier, Marty Schottenheimer, Sam Rutigliano, all head coaches of this proud franchise. I can't believe this record.
Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle.
Putting pressure on the guy throwing the football is always good, but when you can couple that with contact on him that leads to an incompletion, as we just saw there, that's winning football.
Here's Britton Colquitt now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. The Steelers, they get ready to roll again on offense, and they're reeling. They're on a 4-game losing streak, Charles. They were 4-1. Now 4-5. What do you make of the Steelers at this point?
Well, some of it comes down to health. Remember, Big Ben missed a game when he got hurt against Miami, and then they had an open week, and so he only missed the one game and came back. But his timing was off a little bit with his receivers in the next game that he played. But overall, take a look at the schedule, all right? New England was one of the losses. Dallas was one of the losses. Those are two of the better teams in the league. The ones they might regret a little bit, Miami and Baltimore. But both of those teams are playing much better in recent weeks.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. At the end of one, 7-0 is our score. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The